Most people think of muscles as tools for lifting weights or moving around. But what if your muscles were the key to aging better, living longer, and preventing chronic disease? Muscle isn't just for strength or vanity, it's a powerful metabolic organ. A robust muscle system improves glucose uptake, reducing the burden on the pancreas and lowering the risk of insulin resistance. It also supports healthy blood pressure, cholesterol balance, and fat metabolism, and that makes it one of the most critical and underappreciated organs in the body. When healthy and active, muscle tissue helps regulate blood sugar, communicates with hormones, and protects the body against metabolic disorders like type 2 diabetes and heart disease. In fact, scientists now view skeletal muscle as central to overall health, not just mobility. Maintaining or even building muscle is not just possible in older adults, it's essential. By seeing muscle as more than just tissue and understanding its role in systemic health, we unlock new ways to combat the aging process from the inside out. Studies show that with the right approach, including targeted resistance training and sufficient protein intake, older adults can rebuild lost muscle and regain functional independence. It empowers people to take control of their health, not just to live longer, but to live better, stronger, and with more independence. In fact, muscle remains highly adaptable, even in people well into their 70s and 80s. Without intervention, this leads to reduced strength, slower metabolism, increased body fat, and a cascade of health problems from insulin resistance to higher risk of falls, hospitalization, and even death. Every time you contract a muscle, you're not only generating movement, but also sending out biological signals that influence everything. Inflammation too, insulin sensitivity. It's why simple tasks, standing up, climbing stairs, carrying groceries, can become difficult or even dangerous later in life. Many accept this decline as inevitable, but science tells a different story. And the best part, these benefits are accessible at any age. In this context, muscle is medicine. It's a reservoir of metabolic health, disease prevention, and resilience. What if the reason we grow frail with age isn't age itself but muscle loss? Sarcopenia, the gradual decline of muscle mass and strength, begins silently after age 30 and accelerates rapidly after 60. Muscle loss with age is not written in stone. It's modifiable and, in many cases, reversible. At the heart of sarcopenia is a subtle imbalance. Over time, the body's ability to build new muscle slows, while the breakdown of muscle continues steadily. But here's the good news. This process can be interrupted. Understanding sarcopenia as a modifiable condition, rather than a natural outcome of aging, changes everything. If muscle is the engine of healthy aging, then protein is the fuel, and not all fuels are created equal. As we age, our muscles become less responsive to the muscle-building signals triggered by protein. This phenomenon, known as anabolic resistance, means that older adults need not just more protein but better protein. Leucine is a branched-chain amino acid that plays a powerful role in stimulating muscle protein synthesis, the process by which the body repairs and builds muscle. High-leucine foods, such as whey protein, isolate, eggs, lean meats, and dairy are especially effective at waking up older muscles that have become less responsive with age. For most people, this equates to roughly 30 to 40 grams of high-quality protein per meal. Depending on the source, a glass of milk and a slice of toast won't cut it. A strategic shift toward protein-dense meals can dramatically improve strength, energy, and metabolic resilience. Research shows that around 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine per meal can help overcome anabolic resistance and trigger MPs effectively, particularly when combined with resistance exercise. The mistake many older adults make is underconsuming protein, especially at opportunities to support muscle health. In short, not all proteins are created equal, and understanding the unique power of leucine could be the key to reversing age-related muscle loss. Protein is powerful, but without the right signal, it won't reach its full potential. Resistance training. Together, they don't just preserve muscle, they help build it, even in your 60s, 70s, or beyond. When combined with protein, especially leucine-rich sources, this signal becomes even stronger, creating a powerful synergy that maximizes muscle growth and repair, even in older adults. They just need the right message and the right nutrition. With consistent effort and smart choices, anyone can maintain strength, improve balance, and protect their independence well into later life. Think of resistance training as the on switch for your muscles. It tells your body, we need strength, here, start building. And here's the best part. It doesn't require a gym, heavy weights, or hours of your time. Simple bodyweight movements like chair squats, wall push-ups, and step-ups done just 2 to 3 times a week can spark profound changes in muscle size, strength, and function. These small efforts trigger a cascade of physiological responses that make the body more sensitive to protein intake, accelerating muscle recovery and growth. This combination resistance exercise plus protein creates a feedback loop. Training increases protein sensitivity, and protein supports the adaptations triggered by training. The truth is, aging muscles don't stop working. You might be eating enough protein, but are you eating it at the right times? When it comes to building and preserving muscle, timing matters just as much as quantity. Most people, especially older adults, tend to load up on protein at dinner while barely consuming any at breakfast. Instead, it follows a threshold model. Around 30 to 40 grams of high protein per meal is optimal for older adults to maximally stimulate Anything less and you miss the mark. Anything more and your body can't use the extra for muscle building. This uneven distribution leaves long gaps where the body lacks the amino acids it needs to repair and grow muscle. It leaves your body in a prolonged muscle breakdown state and wastes a critical opportunity to stimulate growth. Prioritize protein in the morning with options like eggs, Greek yogurt, or a whey protein shake. Do the same at lunch and dinner. Shifting toward balanced protein intake across all 3 meals ensures a steady supply of amino acids and keeps muscle-building signals active throughout the day. Muscle protein synthesis doesn't respond linearly to more protein. It supports wound healing, stabilizes blood sugar, helps regulate weight, and most importantly, maintains the muscle that keeps you moving, standing, and living independently. That's why skipping protein at breakfast is such a costly mistake. But for the majority of aging adults in good health, a high-protein diet is not only safe, it's essential. The solution is simple but powerful. Treat each meal as a muscle-building opportunity. Spread your protein wisely and your muscles will thank you with strength, stability, and resilience. One of the biggest myths keeping older adults from eating enough protein is the fear that it will damage their kidneys. Low protein intake accelerates muscle loss, weakens the immune system, increases the risk of frailty and falls, and can lead to longer recovery times from illness or surgery. For older adults whose muscles are already more resistant to growth, this underconsumption can be devastating. But here's the truth. For healthy individuals, high-protein diets do not harm kidney function. But in people with normal kidney function, multiple studies show that higher protein intake is not only safe, it's beneficial, especially for preserving muscle mass and metabolic health during aging. This misunderstanding stems from research on patients with existing kidney disease, where protein restriction may be necessary. In fact, the real danger lies in not getting enough protein. Think of protein not as a threat but as a tool for resilience. Of course, if you have chronic kidney disease, you should follow your doctor's advice. Embrace protein as part of your path to strength and longevity. What if the true secret to living longer isn't hidden in your DNA or some anti-aging pill but in your muscles? Recent research has revealed a powerful truth. Muscle mass is one of the strongest predictors of longevity and health span. It's not just about looking fit. Muscle determines how well you age. It influences how fast you recover from illness, how resistant you are to injury, and how long you can maintain independence in daily life. Studies show that individuals with more muscle mass and strength are significantly less likely to die prematurely. Even when accounting for body fat or other health conditions, muscle acts like a reservoir of energy and protein during times of stress, illness, or hospitalization, helping the body heal and bounce back faster. They're the foundation of physical confidence, the ability to move, react, and live without fear. And the good news is, you can choose differently. More than that, strong muscles mean better balance, fewer falls, improved brain function, and greater metabolic health. Bodyweight exercises like chair squats, wall push-ups, and step-up, done 2 to 3 times per week, can activate key muscle groups and restore function. Just 10 to 15 minutes a day can reawaken dormant muscles and lay the foundation for long-term strength. But over weeks and months, these small shifts create a metabolic reserve, a buffer that protects you during illness, injury, or aging-related stress. Unfortunately, we don't see muscle this way. We often associate aging with weakness, but this weakness is not fate, it's a choice. With each meal and movement, you're not just surviving it, you're mastering it. Aim for 30 to 40 grams of high-quality protein at each meal, especially from leucine-rich sources like whey protein, eggs, lean meats, dairy, and tofu. Don't skip breakfast, treat it like a muscle-building opportunity. A protein-rich start to the day helps maintain a steady muscle-building signal. By prioritizing muscle through proper nutrition and resistance training, You're not just shaping your body, you're investing in more years, better years, and a life filled with strength, freedom, and resilience. Knowing the science is powerful, but change only happens when knowledge becomes action. The good news? Building and preserving muscle doesn't require perfection, just consistency. And it's never too late to start. Even small, sustainable habits can spark powerful improvements in strength, energy, and independence. Start with movement. You don't need fancy equipment or a gym membership. Next, rework your plate. Consistency is key. Muscle doesn't vanish overnight, and it won't rebuild overnight either. The path to aging well doesn't begin in a clinic, it begins in your kitchen, your living room, your daily choices.